Welcome back. Have you ever wondered how to play pocket queens on ace high board when you're the pre-flop aggressor, you push out a lot of money, the opponent makes the call, and that stupid ace still comes on out and ruins your day? Well, let's find out how to play it properly. In this hand, Asian man opens for $20. This dude makes the call for 20 and this lady makes the call for 20. We should definitely raise it up 4 to 6 times, maybe more. We're out of position. A 3-bet is definitely in order. If it's heads up, we can actually call 15% of the time, 3-bet 85% of the time. Bet you didn't know that. Pocket queens, if there's one caller in between the raiser and us, we definitely have to 3-bet 100% of the time. And if it's like this iteration, then we can actually jam our entire stack in for $750 at 42% of the time at 150 big blinds. That's pretty shocking to me, but looking through it, this is balanced out by ace king off and ace king suited. They're also 100% shipping all the time. So our ripping in range is basically ace king and pocket queens, nothing else. And at 100 big blinds, pocket queens is 3-betting at 100% frequency and no ripping. So I don't know if it's low iteration things, but that's what the charts say. So once again, at 150 big blinds, we have a wide range of options: calling, raising, jamming, and at 100 big blinds, just plain normal poker, 3-betting. Now let's look at our opponent's range in response to our 3-bet from the small blind. If you're under the gun and you get 3-betted from the small blind in this 4-way multi-way, we basically cannot continue with pocket 9s, pocket 10s because this is a 4-way pot. You don't know that if you call, maybe the people after you might squeeze over. Whereas normally if it's heads up, you definitely would continue a hand like pocket 9s, pocket 10s. But because it's 4 ways, we must fold those hands because being squeezed out would be terrible. Hands like king queen suited is a 4-bet 100%, and you can also 4-bet ace queen suited or call ace queen suited. The reason why is because king queen suited has good blocker effects. It's a good hand to just 4-bet full to a 5-bet. And if you get called, still plays well. Same principle for the ace queen. If you get called, plays well against the 3-betting range from the small blind, and it has decent equity against everything. This is the small blind's 3-betting range. As you can see here, we have some mixtures of like low pocket pairs like 6s and 7s and 8s, occasional 6-5, occasional 8-5 suited, and then we're going to have all the premium. As you can see here, king queen suited, ace queen suited does fairly well against some of these cards that we will be squeezing in this particular 4-way pot with. So they certainly don't mind 4-betting those. Pocket queens and pocket jacks certainly prefers to just flat, because if they click back at us and we click back, their hands are basically toasted and they don't want to get into 5-bet pot. And then for the rest of it, ace king plays well as a bluff to 4-bet back, and then pocket kings, pocket aces as well. Keep in mind, much tighter when you're in a 4-way pre-flop multi-way board. Now to the flop, ace-9 deuce, 2 hearts. So we have black queens. What do we do here? We're first to act, and this guy has something to say. Quote unquote, I mean, if the population under bluffs double barrels, then folding pocket queens there is just absolutely standard, no? Because if population under bluffs, then you can get the green light to check down or value bet the queen on a street in the times they do decide to play ace-high boards passively. I think what this guy is trying to say is basically we don't need to bet our pocket queens here. We don't need to block or bet. We don't need to protect, because population tends to under bluff. And if we check, they most likely will check back all their holdings pretty much. And when they do bet, especially twice, we never have to look them up because they're never bluffing. And in the times where they do double check, we can now bet for value and target pretty thinly against their most likely their pocket pair. Now, that got me thinking, well, I do agree to some merits, or it's not merits, I do agree with some points, but I wonder what GTO wanted, and that's why I created this video. Pocket queens here is actually a 50% check with black queens, and 42.5% is betting a 1/5 pot, and 7.5% is going to bet 1/3 pot. Our overall range is about 40% checking and 60% c-betting. So to me, in this exact scenario where we start at 4 ways multi-way and we end up on this particular flop, I think it's just much easier to 100% c-bet our entire range. Makes us a lot harder to deal with and a lot easier to implement in real time. This is our opponent's calling range against our 1/3, 1/4 c-bet on the flop of ace-9 deuce. He's calling with low frequencies of all the pocket pairs low end, floating us with some occasional 7/6s and 8/7s. That's pretty cool. But they're also going to call hands like pocket tens, pocket jacks, pocket eights, pocket sevens, and then of course all the ace X. So what this means is we can get some value or we can get value owned. On every turn card, pocket queens is checking 100%. We are checking 100%, but we can check call. On a turn of 5 of diamonds, we can call about 29% of the time. Well, what happens if it's not double flush, like a 6 of spade? Then our equity improves. We now go up to 40%. Not our equity. Our equity does improve, and therefore we call at a higher rate of 40%. If you like what you see, what you hear, please be sure to give me a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is once again Advantage Player, and I'll see you next time.